Hey everybody, it's John Corelli, your average guy with his average guy opinions. This is episode 50. Welcome on my journey of doing this for as long as I can. Um, we're going to talk a little bit about Ted Cruz and the often uh, hypocrisy of the right wing. We've seen it for 4 years blatantly. I mean, I've seen it my whole life, to be honest, because I have a functioning brain. But my favorite latest and greatest is Ted Cruz going to Cancun while his beloved state of Texas goes through a deep freeze. In one of the harshest winters in history there, which is bad. I mean, a lot of things here. First of all, global warming is real. There are going to be a lot of deniers because, oh, we just had a deep freeze down there. Yeah, that's because weather's all fucking whacked out because we are hurting this planet. Okay. Secondly, let's start with the first lie that happened down there in Texas that, oh, the windmills went out and windmills are poor source of power. No, what actually happened was many of the grids went out because they were poorly managed and hadn't been maintained. Some of the windmills hadn't been maintained either. This is what happens with another great lie that the right wing has foisted upon us, that regulation is bad and somehow inhibits capitalism. It might inhibit capitalism. I don't know. But unchecked regulation is far worse. I lived in the 80s. I watched Reagan deregulate the airlines. You know what we had a lot of in the 80s as well? Fucking plane crashes. Horrific plane crashes that killed hundreds of people. You look in the 80s, if you ever want to look up major plane crashes, almost all of them happened in the 80s on Reagan's watch because he deregulated the airlines. He also busted the union for air traffic controllers. You had guys going in there because there was no one to tell the planes where to go that didn't really know what they were doing. So, yeah, a lot of people lost their lives because of deregulation. Regulation needs to occur. It needs to occur at a governmental level, and we need to have competent people we can trust in those positions. It's pretty important. Anyway, back to Ted Cruz. Yeah, so he goes to Cancun. He immediately comes back because everyone called him on it because it was just ridiculous. The only quote I've seen so far is, "I was just trying to be a good dad and take my daughters out of a stressful situation." I bet. I bet he's got a pretty nice house, and I bet his house didn't lose power during this. I think his daughters would be okay just staying home in their nice warm home and maybe have a little family time with daddy. That's just my thought on that. So the hypocrisy just continues. I didn't look up the numbers. I wanted to before this, but I kind of forgot because I'm an average guy. But a lot of people like to brag about how Donald Trump did not take his paychecks for the 4 years he was president, which is commendable. I mean, he's a billionaire, so he obviously didn't need it that badly. Um, his pay would have come to roughly $2 million total. It's about a $500,000 a year to be president, which also shows how out of whack our priorities are in this country when CEOs and athletes and others can make millions of dollars per year, but the person that's supposed to lead this great nation makes a $500,000 a year. It's kind of a joke. But yeah, so you know, a lot of people like to pat Trump on the back for doing that. He also spent way more on golf, taxpayer paid golf, than any president ever. And another hypocrisy was when Obama would take his few golf vacations during his 8 years of leading the country. Um, Trump took umbrage with that and said, "Oh man, he sure does like to go on vacation a lot." Really, Donald? You took more golf vacations in your 4 years than Obama did in his 8 years. So shut the fuck up. Um, and you want to talk about vacations? Let's go back to George Bush. What happened after 9/11? He went on a 5 week vacation after 9/11. the Arguably the one of the worst single day crises. The worst single day crisis in the history of this nation, I would have to say, was 9/11, in terms of loss of life and how it shocked the nation and hurt the economy and hurt us in so many levels, geopolitically, socioeconomically, all that. Um, and George Bush goes on vacation for 5 weeks. So Republicans, when you want to talk about Obama going golfing from time to time, look in the mirror or do the old saying. What's the old saying? Usually when you point at someone, you got three pointing back at you. So yeah, and then take it and blow yourself away because I'm tired of all your bullshit. I just can't take it anymore. This may turn into an anger channel. I don't know. There are sometimes I have to rant. There are probably other times I'll just go back and maybe appreciate life more and talk to you and let you know what I'm about. But that doesn't seem to be as much fun to listen to. So I'm about a little more than halfway through this. I just, all the hypocrisy I've seen, like I said, has been blown up. It's been magnified these last 4 years. It's been hard for me to watch. It's hard for me to watch certain people put Christianity on this pedestal when people that often identify as Christians are not acting even close to what would classically be a good Christian ethic, I think. I'm an atheist and I have way more morality than 90% of the Christians I've known or met. So, yeah, there's that. Let's see. I have a friend who's a Christian. Okay, so he was wild in his 20s. And then in his 30s, he kind of settled down and became a born again Christian and would, nice to meet you. I'm not going to say his name. I'm a Christian. It was the first thing out of his mouth. Like, you don't impress me. You don't. I don't care. It's like anyone else comes to me and says they're Muslim first or a Buddhist or an atheist. I don't care. I'm going to judge you on how you act. I don't care what religion you profess to. I really don't, because some of the most horrific things in the history of this country have been done in the name of religion. Some people have done amazingly great things in the name of religion too. So I am neutral on religion. I am neutral when I meet you. And when you say, hey, I'm this, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit if you're Italian American, Mexican American, Nigerian American. None of that impresses me either. What impresses me is the content of your character. I believe a certain pretty amazing but also flawed civil rights activist in the 60s said that. He has 3 certain initials and he has a holiday in January. But he also had flaws. Apparently he was a womanizer. We found that out later. Anyway, talking about Martin Luther King in case any of you weren't getting the hints on that. So, sorry, I'm kind of rambling. But yeah, I'm just tired of the right wing hiding behind the cross. And by the way, just so you know, a lot of people don't know this, but the Klan is a Christian-based organization. The Klan came about during Reconstruction after the Civil War, and part of their modus operandi was to scare possibly rebellious black folks that had just been freed by the Civil War into being good Negroes, or often said worse than that, but I'll spare you that word today. I think I've spared it to you every day. I hope I have. But that's why they burned crosses, because that was to put literally the fear of God into black folks, maybe not knowing their place in the new society of post-Civil War South. It's kind of nuts. But yeah, that's why they burn crosses, because that was a Christian organization. They still claim to be a Christian organization, more like a terrorist organization, really. We should have, it's been 150 years since Reconstruction, so we should know what that group is all about. I know I kind of just started this video just a little upset about Ted Cruz. I really don't know much about the man, to be honest, but I have seen that this is. I also find it funny. Sorry, rambling a little bit today. Got a lot of energy. I'm weird, but I also find it funny that Ted Cruz is this humongous supporter of Trump. He did not vote to impeach or to indict on the impeachment process, and I know Trump said horrible things about that man a scant 4.5 years ago during the 2016 Republican primaries and caucuses. He said terrible things about all of those guys, and for some reason, once again, the party of law and order, the people, the good Christian people, the people of truth, justice, and the American way, sided with a man who was willing to say horrible things about the other men. So there you go. Uh, Republican hypocrisy for the day with a little sprinkling of Christian hypocrisy. I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe I'll mellow out for the weekend, might talk about some other things, but yeah, I'm a little heightened today. Have a great night, have a great day, have a great whatever you're having. See you next time. Bye.